The drama begins inside the video game Dreaming of Jianghu, in the city of Jinling, a massive map filled with temples, alleys, markets, and creatures that look like they came straight out of a legend. There, two avatars are seen fighting side by side. Lu Wei, a warrior famous for her level and her cold blood, and Zhenxiu Wuxiang, her husband inside the game. Together they jump into a heavy mission against a monster that has wrecked half the city and left several NPCs out of action. With patience and coordination, they manage to take it down and keep the most coveted prize of the moment. A magical necklace that boosts attack and defense power, ideal for duels and guild wars. But the joy doesn't last long. As soon as the necklace appears in the inventory, an unknown player shows up to challenge Lu Wei and take it from her. She isn't scared. In fact, she has a reputation for being the only girl who has reached the top of the rankings on her own merit. While the challenge heats up, Zhenxiu Wuxiang brings up his favorite topic again: his curiosity about meeting her in real life. He insists on seeing her face to face, as if the in-game marriage had to be confirmed outside too. She, on the other hand, stands her ground. For some reason she doesn't want to show her face, and that starts creating a strange tension in that virtual couple. Cut to real life. Bei Weiwei is a top-tier university student in the computer science department at Qing University. She's pretty, yes, but her reputation doesn't come only from her looks. People respect her because she's smart, capable, and because when she sees someone being bothered, she steps in to help without trying to be a hero. She lives in the dorm with her three friends, Zhao Erxi, Xiao Ling, and Tian Sisi, who are her trusted crew for studying, gossiping, and surviving university life. One night, the building has a blackout and, as if that weren't enough, Weiwei's laptop starts acting up. That makes her nervous because her life is split between projects, classes, and the game. So the next day she goes out with Zhao Erxi to look for parts and fix the computer. At the shop they run into Meng Iran, considered the most famous and perfect girl on campus, and her friend Nana. They're buying a RAM stick at an outrageous price. Weiwei, not looking for a fight, just comments that it's expensive and maybe not worth it. Meng Iran and Nana take it as an opinion from someone trying to get attention and pay anyway, just to make it clear who's in charge. Later, so she doesn't miss the necklace event, Weiwei logs in from an internet cafe. The place is packed with people gaming, and among them appears Xiao Nai, the most popular student in the whole university. Handsome, brilliant, a sports champion, and to top it off, a programming genius. He comes in with his friends, but instead of getting distracted, he notices one specific scene. A girl playing with such clean technique that it looks like the keyboard responds to her out of respect. Xiao Nai isn't impressed by that player's appearance. What hits him is the talent. And without saying anything, he stays watching, like someone who has found something rare and valuable. When Weiwei finally fixes her laptop, she returns to the game at full speed. That's when the blow hits. Zhenxiu Wuxiang summons her to the 3 live stone to end the marriage. He's frustrated because she won't agree to meet in person, and in his mind that means she's hiding something. Weiwei arrives still processing the humiliation, and he finishes the move by immediately marrying Xiaoyu Yaoyao, a player famous for her beauty inside the game. The news spreads fast, and the server chat turns into a cruel party. Weiwei gets insulted, called a gold digger, an old mistress, bitter, and they throw all the usual poison from bored people who live for other people's drama. Weiwei doesn't break down in public. She goes to the wedding anyway, more out of pride than desire, and something unexpected happens there. Yixiao Naiha, the top one on the server, shows up. His name carries weight, his gear shines, and people go quiet like a king has arrived. Weiwei looks at him with curiosity, because nobody stays at the top for so long just by luck. Yixiao Naiha, without going in circles, proposes marriage to her in the game. He doesn't do it with cheap romance. He does it like someone making a strategic, safe decision. Weiwei, who also understands the game as a game, accepts without overthinking. Plus, marrying the number 1 boosts her status and shuts up half the server. From that union on, Weiwei starts spending time with Yixiao Naiha's circle. His 3 roommates and partners, Hao Mei, Yu Banshan, and Qiu Yongho. They're in the same department as Weiwei, but she still has no idea who they are in real life, even though the in-game names and the real ones look way too similar to be a coincidence. The 4 guys, besides studying, are building a company called GE Technology, focused on developing video games and digital products. They're looking for investors and, at an important conference, they catch the attention of Feng Tang, a large company that's scouting projects with potential. Inside the game, the marriage between Lu Weiwei and Yixiao Naiha doesn't go unnoticed. The haters come back with the story that both are divorced, that's why they got together, as if that were a crime. But the virtual couple gives it zero importance. They organize a huge ceremony, parade around the map like stars, and even treat themselves to a honeymoon full of missions, rewards, and walks through beautiful scenery. For Wei Wei, at first it's pure entertainment and a way to regain control after the humiliating divorce. For Yi Xiao Naihe, on the other hand, there's a deeper intention, though he still doesn't say it. On campus, the drama changes color when someone posts a photo of Wei Wei next to a luxury car and accuses her of being easy and of dating men for money. It's the typical rumor that catches fire because people love making things up. Wei Wei doesn't panic. She uses what she knows. She tracks the IP, finds the culprit, and confirms it's Chao Guang, a student from the foreign languages department. Wei Wei confronts him without making a scene. She explains that the car isn't from a millionaire boyfriend or a sugar anything, but from the mother of a child she tutors. So he can see it with his own eyes. She invites him to meet the kid. Chao Guang, though he doesn't believe it at first, ends up going, realizes his mistake, deletes the post, and apologizes. From that moment on, it's clear he starts looking at her differently, like he's embarrassed by his own immaturity. That same night, Wei Wei logs into the game and finds a surprise from her virtual husband. Yi Xiao Naihe has the player who challenged her chained up in the Heavenly Palace. It's not that he's some movie villain. He simply can't stand people talking badly about her. He punishes the guy within the rules of the game, leaving him exposed and without dignity, and with that he sends a clear message to the whole server. You don't mess with Wei Wei. Wei Wei finds it funny and also feels a little warmth in her chest, because she isn't used to someone defending her without asking for anything in return. In the game they launch a video contest. Each player can make a creative clip and the winner will receive a rainbow outfit, a rare set that changes colors and drives the server crazy. Xiaoyu Yaoyao and Zhenxiu Wuxiang take the chance to attack. They publish a video implying that Wei Wei is a bitter loser. The clip is meant to humiliate her, but it ends up causing the opposite. Yi Xiao Naihe takes it personally and challenges Zhenxiu Wuxiang to an epic battle. The duel is fast, clean, and humiliating for the other guy. After losing, Zhenxiu Wuxiang drops in the rankings and, forced by embarrassment, deletes the video so he won't keep staining Wei Wei's name. While all that happens, in real life Meng Iran keeps up her silent obsession with Xiao Nai. She doesn't say it outright, but it shows in every gesture. She looks for excuses for him to help her, she dresses up to catch his attention, and she dreams that one day he'll look at her the way people look at him. In parallel, Yu Banshan and the guys attend meetings, presentations, and conferences because their company needs investments and alliances. They're students, yes, but they're already living an adult life with pressure, decisions, and risks. On campus, Wei Wei suggests making a video for the contest. A romantic, tragic story between a musician and a bandit, told with good taste and an emotional ending. She coordinates with Yi Xiao Naihe and the group, and along the way they talk a bit about their lives outside the game, without revealing identities. It's a strange vibe. They feel close, they understand each other, but there's still a huge wall because no one wants to say, I am who I am. Wei Wei enjoys that complicity, though she still doesn't know that the guy behind Yi Xiao Naihe has known her for much longer. While Wei Wei moves confidently in the game, Zhao Erxi decides to learn from scratch because she wants to join a video game company as an intern. She and her friends hear that GE Technology is looking for people and they get excited. The problem is that Xiao Ling and Tian Sisi know nothing about games. Zhao Erxi doesn't either, but at least she has the motivation. Wei Wei, to help them, suggests they use fake usernames in the interviews, just so they won't go blank. It's risky advice, but she says it thinking that the real world is unfair too. If you don't get in, you don't even get the chance to show what you know. During the interview process, disaster strikes. Zhao Erxi, nervous, forgets the made-up username and blurts out Wei Wei's Wei Wei. The room goes strange, because in that company there's someone who knows that ID way too well. Even so, Zhao Erxi shines in her presentation and ends up leaving a good impression. Meanwhile, Wei Wei moves between classes and tutoring, trying to keep her life in order, while her marriage in the game remains the favorite gossip for half the server. Then a legendary mission arrives. The Condor Hero's Quest. It's a challenge almost no one has completed because it requires more than strength. It requires real connection between the in-game couple. The trial begins when Wei Wei is sent to a dark place that doesn't even appear on the map. Yi Xiao Naihe has less than 16 hours to find her without clear clues. Wei Wei, trapped, finds a hidden phrase that says something like, trust the tacit understanding between couples. For everyone else it sounds like empty poetry. For Yi Xiao Naihe it's a concrete clue. He understands how she thinks, where she would move, what kinds of places she likes. Yi Xiao Naihe crosses zones, solves trials, and faces enemies like it's a movie. First he meets a kind old man who proposes a game of Go, a strategy game where losing one move can cost you everything. Then he enters a stretch with dragons and creatures that seem impossible to control. Finally, he faces a strong warrior, the kind that forces you to measure every hit. After beating him, he reaches the hidden place and finds Wei Wei. And as if the game wanted to reward the effort, the two end up flying on a phoenix, with the city below and the whole map looking like a gift. That flight also becomes a moment to talk. Wei Wei tells him she was kicked out of her guild because of a rumor. They accused her of stealing a relic from a boss, something that supposedly affected Xiao Yu Yao Yao. She tried to defend herself, but in the end she got tired of arguing with people who had already decided to hate her. She left out of dignity, not guilt. Yixiao Naiha listens without judging, as if he already knew she isn't the kind of person who steals or hides. In real life, Xiao Nai's company becomes a target. A rival group, connected to Meng Iran's uncle, tries to buy the rights to the game they're developing for a large sum. The guys are outraged. They feel like someone is trying to buy their dream. They reject the offer and make enemies. On top of that, a dirty idea appears. Sabotage the schedule push releases earlier, pressure servers, create chaos so Xiao Nai's team looks incapable of delivering. In the middle of that stress, something bad happens. Yu Banshan has a car accident while they're on the road, and Xiao Nai takes the hardest hit because he grabs the wheel to prevent something worse. He ends up hospitalized. In the game, the date of an important competition arrives and Wei Wei waits for her virtual husband so they can fight together. But time passes, he doesn't show up, and the competition ends without them. Wei Wei gets frustrated not only because they lose, but because of the strange feeling that he disappeared with no explanation. Outside, Meng Iran and her group celebrate the defeat like it's a personal victory over Wei Wei. Xiao Nai wakes up and, even though he's in pain, the first thing he does is ask that they contact Wei Wei. He can't do it right away because she's offline and depressed, thinking maybe the guy in the game got tired or something changed. Without realizing it, she already misses him. Xiao Nai, from the hospital, goes as far as hacking her computer to see her not out of control, but out of worry. He spends hours watching the video they made together for the contest, over and over, like someone clinging to something good when everything turns uncertain. Meanwhile, Zhao Erxi decides to fully dive into the game to train. There she meets a charismatic player named Wei Guang. He seems nice, approaches her, asks her to be his apprentice, and she accepts even though she isn't an expert. Without Erxi knowing it, behind that account is Chao Guang, the same guy who accused Wei Wei with a car rumor. When he learns that Wei Wei is with Xiao Nai, he feels jealousy and confusion. And instead of speaking clearly, he goes into the game to get close to the person he thinks is Wei Wei. Erxi, innocent, gets excited by the attention and believes life is finally giving her a beautiful story. When the Feng Tang company calls Wei Wei to buy the rights to the video and use it as game promotion, she gets excited. She doesn't want money, she prefers to ask for magical creatures in the game as payment, a detail that shows how she thinks. She values the symbolic and the useful in the universe she loves. But to sign, she has to speak with Xiao Nai in person, and that's when the biggest bomb goes off. For the first time, the in-game couple decides to meet in real life. Wei Wei treats the meeting like a blind date, even if she doesn't say it out loud. She tries on clothes with her friends, doubts herself, criticizes herself, feels too flashy in a red dress, and ends up switching to something simpler. Then she takes an important exam and heads to the agreed spot, an area near a lake. When Xiao Nai arrives, she freezes. The most famous guy at the university is, literally, the top one player in the game. He confirms his identity calmly, without drama, like he planned it all. Wei Wei almost falls over from the shock, but she also understands why he always seemed perfect while playing. Because in real life he is too. They go out to eat, and Wei Wei notices he's more serious and distant outside the game, even though he's still attentive. Then he goes to play his last basketball match and, when they arrive together at the university, they draw attention like a celebrity couple. The girls on campus go crazy, Meng Iran turns bitter in silence, and Wei Wei tries to act normal even though inside she's in full earthquake mode. After the match, Xiao Nai introduces her to his friends, and they welcome her like they've finally met someone important to their boss. It isn't all romance. On the university forums, absurd lists start circulating: top pretty girls, top dangerous women, and even conspiracy theories. Wei Wei shows up on a weird list and Xiao Nai, without telling her, deletes the page with his hacker skills, like cleaning digital trash is part of his routine. In parallel, Chao Guang buys a necklace for Wei Wei, planning to get closer to her in real life. But he finds out she's dating Xiao Nai and sinks. One night, Zhao Erxi gets seriously sick and ends up in the ER with acute gastroenteritis. Wei Wei and the others stay with her. The next day, Xiao Nai shows up at the hospital to take them to breakfast. like it's the most natural thing in the world to take care of his girlfriend's friends. That gesture makes Wei Wei feel safe, because he doesn't only shine in big moments. He's present in the small ones too. Over time, Wei Wei visits the GE technology offices, sees sketches, prototypes, and the real world behind video games. She becomes convinced that Xiao Nai and his team aren't just dreaming, they're working seriously. At the same time, Erxi keeps up her romance in the game with Wei Guang, not knowing the truth, and decides to prepare a special gift. But Nana, sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, sees Chao Guang's virtual date with a supposed Wei Wei, misunderstands it, and runs to tell Meng Iran, trying to ignite more gossip. When summer vacation arrives, Wei Wei returns to her city to see her parents, and the clash is obvious. Her family is loving but traditional, and they don't love the idea of her having a boyfriend while she studies. Because of that, Wei Wei ends up talking to Xiao Nai in secret, in short calls, quietly, like she's hiding a secret. He, meanwhile, stays at the university with his team, taking care of the cactus she gave him before the trip, and fully buried in an impossible schedule. They have only 3 months to deliver the full game. Long nights pile up at the office, coffee, code, and technical arguments, and even so, Xiao Nai looks for moments to log into the game and keep her company, even if only a little. Wei Wei also keeps tutoring to buy herself a phone so she can talk to him without relying on the laptop. That distance, instead of cooling the relationship, makes it clear. Both miss each other, support each other, and realize what they have is no longer just a game agreement, but something real that is growing. In the game, Wei Wei and Xiao Nai are forced to cooperate even with their enemies when a mission requires it. In a fight against a powerful ghost, Zhenxiu Wuxiang and Xiaoyu Yaoyao get defeated quickly, and Xiao Nai revives them only to complete the mission and then defeats the boss with a clean attack. That scene makes it clear who is on another level, and it also leaves Wei Wei thinking that even if her husband is cold, he isn't cruel or vengeful for fun. He knows when to help, even those who don't deserve it. As the launch of the team's new mobile game approaches, hacker attacks begin. Files get deleted, backgrounds get changed, signs get left behind. Xiao Nai installs trackers and uses cameras to identify the culprit. That's when KO comes in, a quiet guy who works at a restaurant and is very protective of Hao Mei. Suddenly it's revealed that KO is the hacker. Instead of hiding, he challenges Xiao Nai to a programming contest. If he loses, he will work for GE for free for a year. Xiao Nai accepts, wins the battle in one night, and KO ends up joining the team as if it had been part of the plan from the start. After vacation, Wei Wei gets a phone so she can talk to Xiao Nai without being glued to her laptop. The relationship, now outside the game, becomes more direct. He looks for her, stays with her, protects her without suffocating her. He even takes her to his company so she can intern and learn. There, Wei Wei runs into a Shuang, a programmer with bad vibes and distrust toward women. He puts her to testing phones and compatibility, a long and exhausting job. Wei Wei takes it seriously, makes a detailed report, and even though a Shuang doesn't show affection, it's clear it helps and that he's impressed. In parallel, Zhao Erxi ends up working for Chao Guang in a very strange way, taking care of his cat, Cafe. At first she's scared, but it fades, and that routine becomes kind of sweet. Erxi, with her clumsy and sincere way, starts to care about the cat and, without realizing it, also about Chao Guang, even though he's still confused because of the Wei Wei situation. The famous in-person server player meetup arrives. Xiaoyu Yaoyao and her friends are happy because they think they're going to humiliate the real Wei Wei by using Erxi as bait, since they saw her at the office and assumed she was the girl behind Lui Wei Wei. But the plan collapses when the real Wei Wei arrives, elegant and calm, and the whole restaurant stares. Xiaoyu Yaoyao insists it can't be her, and Wei Wei, remembering how her friend was treated, decides to defend her with facts. She challenges the girls to an in-game duel in front of everyone. Wei Wei wins, confirms her identity, and leaves the others speechless. When Xiao Nai shows up to take her away, the shock multiplies, because the top couple on the server turns out to also be the most talked about couple at the university. Chao Guang, realizing he was misled by the misunderstanding, explodes in the game in the worst way. He takes the sword Erxi gave him, approaches Wei Wei's avatar, and defeats it, as if that could punish the lie. Erxi feels betrayed, and when Wei Wei comes to her room with a cake to cheer her up, she pushes her out harshly. Wei Wei is left hurt, because she doesn't understand why she's paying for other people's emotional disaster. As if there weren't enough fuel, Nana leaks a video where Chao Guang, drunk, says that Wei Wei was engaged to him in the game and that at the same time she's dating Xiao Nai in real life. It's gossip built with pieces of badly interpreted truth. Meng Iran uses it to pressure Xiao Nai, but he won't be manipulated. He investigates, hacks phones, deletes the video, and tells Wei Wei they need to cut the problem at the root before it grows. Wei Wei, for her part, confronts Chao Guang and makes it clear that he was cruel with his rumor, that he has no right to accuse anyone, and that he should never mess with her friends again. Even so, the emotional hit leaves marks. Zhao Erxi discovers that everything she achieved, work, attention, a supposed romantic story, happened because people confused her with Wei Wei. She feels small, useless, like she lives in her friend's shadow. She argues with Wei Wei, cries, tries to leave, and in the end Wei Wei decides to leave herself so she won't add more pressure. She goes to Xiao Nai's place, and he welcomes her calmly, as if his space were also her refuge. At the company, the enemy plays dirty. Meng Iran's uncle's assistant buys off a Shuang with money and threats so he'll leak information and sabotage the server on the day of the presentation to Feng Teng. The plan is simple. Make Xiao Nai's game not start, embarrass them, and make the rival project look better. But Xiao Nai suspects it, sets up a backup server, and doesn't trust anything. On the key day, the main server fails right as he presents, but he switches to the second one in seconds and continues like nothing happened. Feng Teng's people are impressed and sign with him. The uncle loses the move, and Xiao Nai, now secure, fires a Shuang without making a scandal so he won't break team morale. With the win, the team finally allows themselves to breathe. They go to a hotel near the mountains to rest, eat, and play. KO proves that besides being a hacker, he's an amazing chef, and he puts together a barbecue that leaves everyone happy. Between laughs and challenges, Wei Wei and Xiao Nai step away for a moment, go to a place that looks like the game's landscapes, remember their first virtual wedding, and talk about the future with a naturalness that's scary. Plans, living together, and the idea of getting married for real when the time comes. In time, GE Technology and Feng Teng turn the game into a success. There's a 2-year time jump. Wei Wei is about to graduate with her friends, and Xiao Nai appears in interviews as a star young entrepreneur. The world that began as a virtual adventure ends up becoming real, solid, and admirable. At the graduation ceremony there are photos, hugs, nostalgia, and that feeling that everything changed too fast. After that, Wei Wei packs her luggage to move in with Xiao Nai. He takes her to meet his parents and then they travel to her parents' home. Wei Wei's father is strict and treats the evaluation of his future son-in-law like an exam. He watches his character, his patience, his respect, even absurd details like his strength and the way he treats his daughter. Xiao Nai doesn't lose his cool. He endures politely, proves himself through actions, and earns his approval little by little. Finally, Xiao Nai proposes, moving the wedding up. The families meet, agree, and celebrate. Wei Wei reunites with her longtime friends, who are dying to see the dress but don't even know how to arrange it. And there, once again, you see what defines Xiao Nai. He doesn't make noise, but he solves things. He helps her get dressed, takes care of every detail, and without needing speeches, turns the day into something intimate and special. So what started as a strategic marriage in a game ends as a real relationship, built with respect, support, and a complicity that survived rumors, envy, sabotage, and misunderstandings. End of the drama.